Hey, what's happening, YouTube family? This is your host, Jonathan Dunmeyer from Dominion Empowerment Podcast. And something that is very important to talk about is, should veterans buy multifamily first, multifamily property first? If you're a veteran thinking about buying your first property, there's one question that comes up all the time. Should I buy a single family home or should I buy a multifamily home? Now, if you're on social media on YouTube, you probably heard people say buy a duplex, buy a fourplex, house hack your way to wealth. And while there's truth in that, there's also a lot of missing context. Because buying the wrong property at the wrong time can create stress on your life that you don't want, which with that stress will cause instability. You don't want that. And everything we talk about on this podcast come back to one principle: housing first, stability first, then strategy. So in this episode, I'm going to break down some things for you. We're going to talk about what house hacking really is, why veterans have an advantage, what multifamily ownership actually looks like, and how to know if this is the right move for you. Because this is not about hype, as I keep saying. This is about truth. This is about what's real. We're talking about what actually works, what doesn't work, what's a bunch of fluff. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people out here who will take advantage of us veterans. I've been victim of that because I was, hungry to try and get something done and needing something done. And you get with the wrong people, man. You lose money, you just lose. You're never going to win because some people out here just to take advantage of your pain and don't understand. Yeah, we all have pain, but provide value to me so you can show me how to get out of where I am with legitimate information. So let's start with this first thing that a lot of us have, and that's the problem with traditional home ownership. Not so much a problem, but you'll see why I'm saying what I'm saying about home ownership. Let's start with how most people approach housing. The traditional path looks like this. You buy a home, you move in, you pay the mortgage every month, and over time, you build up equity. There's nothing wrong with that path, but it's a slow path. It's a slow path to wealth, and it's a slow path that nobody, especially for veterans, are going to tell you. And I ain't going to tell you that for everyday homeowners because they don't want you to understand the real pathway and the true way to wealth building, because there is more profit for these housing developers to put you in single family homes. Yes, hopefully you're in a nice neighborhood like mine and you get some really good appreciation over time. You got some equity. You can take out home equity lines of credit like I talked about in previous episodes. But there's good and bad with everything. But as I said, there's nothing wrong with that, building equity over time. But your housing becomes an expense. And every single month, money is going out. And for many people, that payment becomes a financial burden. Not because they made a bad decision, but because they stress themselves too thin. And this is where you need to start thinking differently. And the reason why you need to start thinking differently because you can't take out depreciation on your home as you could if you owned a multifamily property. You couldn't claim that on you can claim it on your taxes through your LLC. But as a homeowner, I can't claim depreciation costs. There's no benefit. And it's a setup. But we're here to change things for people. Because what we're going to do is talk about strategy. Because you have to strategize properly. You have to strategize the right way. So let's talk about what is house hacking? What is it really about? House hacking is a simple concept. It means you live in a property. Say, take the example of a quadplex. You live in one unit, you have 3 other units that you can rent out. That's it. You can rent out the whole unit. You can rent out the bedrooms one by one. Same with a duplex, live on one side, rent out the other. Simple. It helps to reduce your housing expense, which will allow you sometimes to live just about for free. Tax benefits, appreciation and depreciation costs. There's an upside to house hacking. Now, even though we say live for free, nothing is truly free, but you're trading responsibility for opportunity. The opportunity that this gives you will cause you to have to be responsible, because you have to be responsible. You have to take care of those people who are living in those units. This is a powerful, powerful advantage for veterans. And so many veterans just don't know what they don't know. And when you don't know the opportunities that are out here that exist for you, then you'll lose out. Because the VA loan allows you to purchase properties with up to 4 units. That means you can go out here and go acquire you a 4-unit quadplex. You can go out and get a duplex, triplex, quadplex, just as long as you live in one of the units. Just let that sink in for a minute. You only have to live there for a year, 12 months. But as I said in the previous episode, if you're living in one, even while you're in the military as a soldier, you're renting out the other 3. You're still getting BAH. You're living for free, per se, and you're getting positive cash flow if you utilize the strategies that I will teach you. You can go ahead and purchase a property, 4-unit, no down payment, live in a unit, rent out the others. It's a major disadvantage. But just because something is possible don't mean it's always the right move for you. This may not be for everybody. Excuse me. And I'm not saying that it is for everybody. But for those who want to take advantage of it, who want to explore it, who want to learn more, your VA benefit that you have is a very powerful advantage when you know how to use it the right way. A real example. Okay, so we're going to go through this example. Say you purchase a 4-plex. Talked about this in a previous video, but I'm going to talk about it here, but I'm going to talk about some other things as well. You purchase a quadplex, your rent's $3,000. You rent out the other places, say on the low end. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bedroom, each unit, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Say you rent it out, excuse me, with $1,500 for each unit. That's $4,500 that's coming in. It's $4,500. Your mortgage is $3,000. So that leaves you positive cash flow of $1,500. Now, that's just not just money to be taken and be wasted. That's money you put aside for possible expenses that you may have. You may have roofing issues. You may have plumbing issues. You may have HVAC issues. You may have electrical issues. You may have to evict somebody. You may have to repaint walls. And so that money, part of that money gets taken and put aside. But that comes with the home ownership. That comes with the landlord side of things also. But let's take the $1,500 that you get and say you're getting $1,500 for your BAH. That's $3,000 positive cash flow. That's $36,000 a year, plus your salary from if you're a soldier in the military, right? So you're still receiving your salary every month. So every month you positive cash flowing. It's really good. So that means you're living rent free. Why? Because your mortgage is covered. The property is being paid off. You're not paying for it. But we need to talk about how you acquire properties. You need to understand credit. You need to understand the power of your credit. You need to understand the importance of starting an LLC, getting an EIN, because there are some additional benefits that most people don't talk about and don't understand how powerful it is to use these other available tools to use. Now, that's one way of house hacking. There's multiple ways. You have people that are willing to rent out rooms. They don't want a whole place because they can't afford it. So they're trying to, save their money, stack their money, but they need somewhere to live. And maybe they can't afford $1,500, but they can afford $1,000. So say you rented out each room at $1,000. Remember, there's 3 bedrooms in each unit. So that's $9,000 that's coming in. 9,000 up from the 4,500. So now you done doubled the amount you have coming in. Your mortgage is still 3,000. So now you're left with 6,000 plus the 1,500. So now you're $7,500 positive cash flow, which puts you at over $85,000 for the year. Went from 36 to 85 just by renting out the rooms, 4,000. Now there's some programs out here that will pay for a veteran to live in one of your rooms. And some of these groups, organizations, will pay $2,000 per veteran. So say you have 3 veterans occupying your 3 rooms. So now that's $6,000 per unit, which is $18,000 a month. $3,000 going to your mortgage, $15,000 left over, plus the $1,500 you're getting from your job, from the military. $15,000 plus $1,500 is $16,500. Do the math. Just think about that. $16,000. You're over 130, about 135,000, if not more, excluding repairs, excluding additional costs. Money you done set aside for household expenses. And if they never come up, then that money is just sitting there. But I wouldn't just leave it sitting there. I would teach you how to take that money and make it grow. And there's ways of being able to do that as well. Because I said, the beautiful thing about what it is that I'm going to teach is that it's not one angle. It's not just VA loans. Most people who teach, they only teach about the VA loan, which is powerful. The difference of what it is that I'm here to do is to give you understanding that there are so many ways of acquiring properties. You can acquire properties on subject to. That means you take over somebody's mortgage. You can acquire properties through foreclosures. You can go out and get properties through seller financing. You can go and buy houses from auction. You can go acquire land on auction. There are so many ways to acquire real estate. And once you learn these ways, once you start putting them into practice, you're going to see that it's just rinse and repeat. You go out, acquire the property. If you need to fix it up, fix it up. You're going to learn how to hire a general contractor. You're going to learn who to use. You're going to understand the electricians. You're going to understand what the plumber does. You're going to understand what the roofer does. You're going to understand all of these things because you need to understand the totality of a unit, of a property, of a quadplex. And you can house more than just veterans. I haven't even talked about being a group home. And that's a term loosely used. Those who are coming out of detox centers and need places to live. Some of those people, different organizations, sometimes will pay up to $3,000 per person. Some maybe $5,000 per person. Some may be $10,000 a person. Some may be $20,000 a person. It just depends on the program. That nobody talks about because they don't want you to know this. I want you to know it because I want you to become wealthy. And in doing so, help to transform your family's lives and therefore help to transform generation lives and help other people and help those in your family to develop land, to develop and come together in partnership and acquire land and go out and build, say, tiny homes or manufactured homes. You have people out here doing some amazing developments out here. You have people that's creating homes out of containers, not like little containers. I'm talking about the big containers that they use on the trains and stuff like that. Storage containers, like we used to have in the military. Building homes out of those. There's some creative people out here. So, and some of those houses only cost like $6,000. And that's what I'm talking about, complete build. Some 2-3 bedroom. Very nice. Some like $12,000. Some maybe $20,000. But as I said in previous videos, and I'll say it here again, if you don't have your credit in place, then we can help you get your credit fixed. If you don't have an LLC, we can help you start your LLC. Show you how to get your EIN number. Very simple. If you need business credit cards, we can help you get those. I don't want to do this and I don't want to do that. Well, the unfortunate thing with any business, anything out here, any product, is that you have people who will do the right thing with it, and you have people who are going to go out and do the wrong thing with it and say that it don't work. But what they will never tell you is how they screwed up. They will never tell you how they took that money from business credit cards, racked up a bunch of stuff, didn't have a clear-cut plan, didn't understand the process, they just didn't understand anything, because there's people out here that know everything about nothing, and you can't tell them anything. And they made bad investments. And then they say, oh, that business credit card stacking doesn't work. No, you screwed up. Tell the people that. Just like I told people, I screwed up my credit. I had to learn to rebuild it. So I'm not talking about somebody who had perfect credit. Credit score was in the 5s. I had to learn how to restore it, how to rebuild it, which allowed me to get my first home. Because I was going out, man, didn't understand credit, didn't know, going to all these different developments and developers and all these different properties. And thinking, oh yeah, we're gonna get a house, me and my wife, and go submit, and rejected, rejected, rejected. That makes you feel dejected. That makes you, as a man and as a woman, make you feel less than sometimes, make you feel like, man, this ain't even worth it. Or it's never gonna happen. But I didn't have that mindset, man. I had the mindset I'm gonna keep pushing and I'm gonna find a way, I'm gonna figure this out. And I was led to finding out the truth of how to dispute and get things removed off my credit report. And once I found out that truth, and I got things removed off my credit report that allowed my credit score to go up to, what was it, 630 at the time? And you needed 620 to qualify for a loan. I applied for the loan to a VA lender. They called me a few days later, say you've been approved. And me and my wife, I told my wife that, and we just looked at each other like, is this real? Because we've been told and denied so many times. And so many people just, when they're not going to tell you the truth, man. They're going to lie to you, manipulate you, and tell you something don't work, and tell you this, and tell you that because they screwed up. I'm going to tell you when I screw up. Why? Because you learn from my mistakes. I'm also going to tell you something that works. There's people out here using business credit cards, go out and get $50,000 of credit. So I'm getting 100K, 75K, 150K, 200K, 250K. That's what you're going to do with that 250K. If you by yourself, now if you have a spouse, both of y'all have LLCs, both of you have EIN numbers, both of you have a business, y'all working, and you have somebody like myself that will show you and help you to build your credit profile out the right way with me and my team, and we can get y'all up to 250K a piece, that's $500,000 right there for your household. And show you how to go out and acquire property, show you what to look for, show you how to comp a property, show you the neighborhoods, what to look for, what all of the things that most people will not tell you. I'm trying to tell you. They only gonna tell you the great stories. They ain't gonna tell you the horror stories. I was Mr. Gullible at one time. And I learned how to question and ask questions and learn to dig deeper because people would give me surface level answers and then I would take it and I would run with it, but no longer. And I don't want that to happen to any veteran. I don't want that to happen to anybody, but especially not veterans, not current soldiers. I don't want that to happen to you because somebody's not telling you the truth. That's the reality. And see, that's not a one-time play of getting that $500,000. You can do that multiple times in a year. Say you did it twice a year. That's $1 million you have to go in and grab yourself more properties. Now, you got 500K. You're not going to have to put a 500K deposit on a quadplex. Go look for those who are offering seller financing. You may go find yourself a place that fell into foreclosure. You have places that are hit with taxes and you pay off the taxes and acquire the property, which is tax liens. There are so many options to acquire properties. Now, say you acquire 2 properties in a year. And let's go back to the example that I gave. And then I'm going to deal with being a landlord because this is very important. But let's go back. Let me run this because I'm a numbers guy. So let me run these numbers to you because it paints a better picture when you have numbers before you. Say you got 2 properties in 1 year. And they're both quadplexes in. And like I said, there's ways of being able to work around the living in a place because you put that place in your LLC and nobody knows about it. because you won't have to use your VA loan for that second property, is what I'm telling you. Use it for the first property. Second property, you're going to go through, say, use seller financing. So you're going to establish with the seller, who now becomes the bank, and they're going to set the interest rate and the monthly payment. Now, first unit you acquired through the VA. We gave that example earlier, $3,000, right? Gave you the example that if you housed 3 veterans in a unit at $2,000 apiece, that's $6,000 per unit, which is $18,000 per quadplex that you have, minus the $3,000 for your mortgage, $15,000, plus the $1,500 you get from BAH, which gives you $16,500. That's just off of one property. The next property, you're going to rent out all 4 units. Say they all have 3 bedrooms, 2 baths also. Remember, you're living in one. So now the other one, you're going to run the same play. You're going to house veterans in each of those units. So instead of having 3 units, you now have 4. So you're getting $6,000 off of each one. So now you're getting $24,000 off of that one. Positive cash flow. Say your mortgage is $4,000. $20,000 positive cash flow. You got $20,000 coming from one, $16,500 coming from the other one. That's $36,500 per month. $36,000 times 12. It's $370,000, 72, a little bit more per year while you're a soldier. Per year as a disabled veteran while you're out of the military. Or as a veteran. Or somebody that's in prison that's getting out soon, that's in a detox center that's coming out soon and wants to reestablish their life, wants to build stability. You can tell me that's a way to build wealth. So say for that second property, you and your wife, remember I said they got $250K. I don't know, say the property $700,000. And the owner, he wants, I don't know, $300,000. You got access to $500,000. Oh no, I don't want to use my credit cards for that. We teach you how to do things the right way. Just listen. Just do what it is we're going to help you with. You liquidate the money. You put the $300K down. You may put 50 more into it to rehab it, or $100K to improve the property value. So you get 300, put 100 in, it's 400K, still have 100K in reserve. So that 100K is what's going to be set aside to make your monthly payments on your credit cards. Because what people don't tell you is that those credit cards most times are from 12 months, 0% interest for 12 to 18 months. But you still need to make the payments on that card. So instead of using all the money up, you set money aside. You take part of that money. My mind is like going so crazy right now because I want to say so many things, but I'm trying to hold it back. And I have to hold it back because I got to get to this next segment. You use that extra 100 to pay your monthly payments. Now, here's a beautiful thing. Once your money starts to come in, and guess what you do? You pay off that card, keep paying. And what you think they're going to do the next time you come back for funding and you done paid those cards off? Here's more money. Here's more. Let's give you $350,000 a piece, and let's see what y'all do with that. That's what nobody's telling you. You just make it sound so easy, make it sound so simple. It becomes simple when you know what to do, and it becomes hard when you have people that's going to willing to screw you over and take advantage of you. I don't have nothing. I mean, you can use it or not. Use the information. You can use me or use somebody else. I don't care as long as you get what you need. And what you need is the truth. Here's another thing you have to consider. How to be a landlord. And some people say, I don't want to be a landlord. That's awesome. Because a lot of times you don't have to be the landlord. You have what's called property management groups out here, which you pay them a monthly fee so that you are not being a landlord. The key is finding the correct and proper property management group that's going to take care of your property. And of course, you have systems set up in place to ensure that everything is done properly. Your rents are being collected, money's being deposited, payments are being made, money is being set aside for incidentals, for anything that goes wrong. There's ways of doing anything. But if you want to be the landlord over the property. Or hire yourself a property management group. With landlord, it's just responsibility. This is your wealth building strategy. So you should want to learn how to take care of your property. You should want to get in there and do some of the work yourself. That way the people who rent from you see, oh man, he's a veteran, he's doing this. And then you teach those veterans who you are housing how to do and say, hey, go to check out the Million Empowerment Podcast and go check out my man, Jonathan Dunmeyer, because he's going to teach you something and he's going to show you how you can do what it is that I'm doing. Let's pass it on. There's too many properties. There's too many opportunities. There's too many people that have the mind mentality. It's not enough. As I said in a previous episode, I'm going to say it here. People put out and cause fear in others so that they can profit off of your fear and off of your lack of knowledge. I live in Texas. There's no shortage of land out here. I know manufacturers of housing. I know developers. There's no shortage. There's no shortage of multifamilies. There's no shortage of duplexes. There's no shortage of triplex. There's no shortage all across the country. There's a shortage everywhere. Everywhere. Come on, man. Let's wake up. Okay? Let's pay attention. And let's get focused. And when you get focused, I have something for you to help you to focus. Down in the description, get your free ebook. Teach you how to use your COE, certificate of eligibility, and your VA loan, understanding how to properly use it. Do you have any questions? Do you have any comments? Put the comments down. Also, if you have any questions, you can book a call with me. And let's get on a call, let's connect, and let's talk, and let's figure out how to be able to help you to get what it is that you need so that you can succeed and so that you can go out here and grow. Because I'll show you how to set up your website. Like I said, this is probably one of the only channels right now that's going to teach you credit repair, how to use business credit cards, business loans, HELOCs. It's going to teach you how to use AI, understand how to set up AI receptionists and answer your phone calls as a business, and set up your website and have a receptionist on your website, and all of the things and automations and all of the things that take the pressure off of you that you don't know about. It's here to give you the strategies. I'm here to help give you the strategies. I'm here to give you the information that you need so that you're empowered. And that you can empower others. Like I said, there's so many advantages. So one of the things you need to know is if multifamily right for you? That's something you have to ask yourself and question. And ask yourself that honestly. Am I ready for a multifamily? And then ask yourself, is there anybody out there that can help me with this process? You understand your monthly expenses, understand what things will cost. Have a calculator that'll help you to walk you through to see where you are and see where your expenses are and what you can afford. And you say I have a lot of resources. That's the beautiful thing about what I've been able to do. And I'll be adding more links consistently to my description to the different resources that I have available for you. Another thing you have to understand, have an emergency fund put aside. Do you have money set aside? Are you ready to take on the responsibility of a property? If that's yes, then let's get the ball rolling, get you started, and get you on the process. Because once you answer yes to yourself, and you really deal with this honestly with yourself, with your spouse, or if you're by yourself, everything's about strategy. This is not about rush. We're not here to rush you. I'm not here to rush you. I'm not here to push you. I'm here to guide you. I'm here to give you instruction, give you information, give you resources. Like I said, whether you use me or not, I'm okay. What I want is for you to be okay. What I want is for you to be and to receive what you need so that you don't feel like nobody cares. I know what that feels like. And I've experienced that from family members, from friends, co-workers, from people who act like they believe in your dream. And they really don't, because they show it. But if your answer is yes, you're ready to, and then the answer is no, let's deal with that. If your answer is no, I'm not ready, then you need to ask yourself, what do I need to do to get ready? We can help you get ready. That's what this channel is for, is to teach you how to get ready. One of my saying is to always be ready. Always stay ready so you don't have to get ready. But once you're ready to move, boom, let's take off and let's move. Let's make this thing happen. Because this is once I learned what I learned from all these different people who are mega millionaires and started to implement these things into my life and seeing the way that my life is transforming, this is one of the most powerful things. This is probably going to be one of the most powerful channels because there's nobody touching on all these different things. Because I want to talk about how to start businesses, how to create businesses, and how to properly structure everything. I want to talk about tax strategies, people I recommend, who to use. It's not about just using an accountant. You need a tax strategist. Somebody's going to show you how to keep your money and pay very little taxes, just like the other wealthy people do. And people get mad when they can do the same thing. Don't let your ignorance, lack of knowledge, keep you in a place of complacency or complaining. Well, this person don't pay taxes and they don't pay taxes. All they're doing is following the doggone tax code that has been set up and that tells you how to not pay taxes in such a large amount. Or none at all. Have it written off. How to keep your capital gains from the property if you sell it. Like I said, how to run a DSCR play over and over and over again. As I said in a previous episode, the DSCR loan is debt service coverage ratio loan. You got 2 properties. You pay $600,000 for each or $700,000 for each. 2 years go by, a year go by. I would say 2 years go by. And you want to get more properties. 2 years you've been paying down the mortgage. Okay? You've been highly profitable, cash flowing, because of the couple of ways I've showed you and spoke about. Go get a DSCR loan. You probably end up getting 1.2, 1.5 million possibly. I can't say no exact numbers. Let's say hypothetically they gave you 1.5 for each property. That's 3 million. But the 1.5 pays off the first property completely. You're just paying that money back on the loan. Let's say the first property was, 700. You got 1.5, you're left with 800,000. But actually it's going to be less than that because you've been paying the principal down and interest. But all practical purposes, say you're left with 800,000 off of both properties. Now you're left with 1.6 million in loans that you don't pay no taxes on. Now, I'm not going to tell you to go waste that money. I'm going to tell you to go and acquire more properties and buy yourself something nice because that's tax-free money. There's other ways to get tax-free money, and we're going to talk about those ways. It's ways of people to fund your lifestyle. The reason why I tell you to use business credit cards, because those large amounts that you are using, you're earning points. You don't earn any points off of a HELOC. You don't earn any points on anything other than a credit card. So use the credit card the right way. Take those points and go fly first class, business class, anywhere you want, round trip. Book yourself a very nice hotel. Take those points and go buy yourself some very nice clothes. There's so many things I'm going to talk about on this channel that's so powerful and impactful. It's going to blow your mind because it's like, what? You can do what? Yeah. Because the beautiful thing about this is, remember I said, if you had just one LLC between you and your spouse, and that generates, and you're able to get 250K, then you go out and go and do what? Get you a few more LLCs. And with those LLCs, you're able to get what? Another 250K again. Once you establish the relationships with the banks. So now that $500,000 went up to $1 million at one time. Run that play a couple times a year, you're up to $2 million a year, if not more. I'm just using the lower end. I know somebody, one of my mentors, I forgot how many LLCs he said he had, either 30 something or 40 something LLCs. It's a system, it's a strategy. And once you learn the strategy, it becomes powerful. But don't forget to check out in the description, get my CEO, COE, not CEO, I'm the CEO, but get my COE certificate eligibility, free ebook down in the description, and you'll be able to learn a lot from that. Because I want you to succeed. I want you to be empowered. But I want you to understand something. First property is not about getting rich. It's about building your foundation. Imagine you had stress and reducing that stress because you are $16,000 positive cash flow, 10,000 plus, 5,000 plus, positive cash flow. Okay? That creates stability. That builds discipline. That gives you the mindset to say, hey, I can go ahead and go do something else. It's not about impressing people. I can care less about that. We ain't out here doing what we're doing to create pressure. We're not out here to put you in a position to feel overwhelmed. Long-term success is what I'm after, what you should be after. And if anybody else is not after that for you, then maybe you need to listen to somebody else. That's why I tell people, share this channel with other soldiers, with other veterans. This is the kind of information that needs to be out. This is the kind of information that you need. This is the kind of information that's going to truly transform your life. Once you understand, hey, there's a strategy to this. This is not just haphazardly happening that the wealthy people are getting wealthy. It's a strategy. It's a strategy to acquiring wealth. There's a strategy to acquiring land. There's a strategy of how to put your money in an IUL and whole life insurance policies and how to build wealth. As I said, I have so much running through my head. I want to say it. I can't say it all in this one episode. But I'm excited because I want to give you the most impactful and the most empowering information, because that's what the Million Empowerment is about. They're about empowering people. So I want to empower you. I want to make sure that you have everything that you need. As I said earlier, this is about discipline. This is not about rushing. Let's do what we need to do systematically. Get the ebook. Understand what the certificate of eligibility is really about. I'll be posting, I'll be putting a couple other links in there about real estate investing using business credit cards and a few other things I'll be sharing in the descriptions that I'll be adding as we go along. Because there's just so much that I have and I need to be able to put it all together and, like I say, add it to my descriptions and be able to make sure that people have access to this information. Because I want you to build. I want people to really build their lives, man. And most of y'all don't know, like, the struggles I've been through, man. Like, because people don't talk about the realness. Most people just talk about where they are. They don't tell you what they came through and what they came. They don't talk about the adversity. I talked about in my first episode, one of the episodes I talk about, man, just my introduction, this is just who I am, man. Kid from Philly, East Falls section, North Philadelphia. Youngest of 8 boys. Age 3, I got hit by a car. Wasn't ever supposed to walk again. That next summer, I was out playing basketball. Walking, of course, running, jumping, playing basketball, played basketball throughout my life. But during my time and growing up in the projects, man, you see, back in the 70s, I grew up. I was born in 1970. And, man, it's all gang wars, people getting shot, people being stabbed, car accidents, motorcycle accidents, drugs, alcoholism. Started drinking myself beer and alcohol at 5, 6 years old. Started smoking marijuana like around 10, 11 years old. For a lot of years, that was my life, man. Drinking, smoking, playing ball, trying to deal with and cope with the pain that I was feeling and experiencing and the things I was told growing up in the project. You know what I mean? You got all the negative people. You ain't a whole lot of positivity around you, and you ain't gonna never make it out the hood. And you ain't gonna do this, and you ain't gonna do that. And, oh, so what about your dream? You want to make it to the NBA, and everybody want to make it to the NBA, and blah blah this and blah blah that. I was just a different person, man. I built different. I didn't care what nobody said to me, because I told myself, I'm getting out of this place. I'm not staying in the projects. I used to go walk up into what we call the so-called white neighborhood, and I would go look at their big, beautiful houses, and I'm gonna say, I'm gonna have me a house like this one day. Nice car driving down the street. We used to play the game. No, that's my car, that's my car, that's my car. I really meant that. Because I had a different mindset. So nobody gonna tell me I can't make something great out of my life, because I did. So my dad told me at 6 years old, man, that don't work, don't eat. So he taught me how to garden. He taught me how to grow food. He taught me how to fish. He taught me how I would never go hungry. And that's why I'm teaching y'all how to never go hungry, how to never struggle again. Because people don't want to tell you the real. They don't want to tell you the facts. I've been a part of that. I would go out there on the court, man, and work out hours by myself early in the morning, all day. Summertime, out there all day long. Go back in the house, get something to eat. Go back out on the court, run, jump, shoot, dribble. Because I had a dream. And when that dream came in crashing in, and I got a chance to play pro ball overseas, and my goal was to come back and go to a free agent camp, and I got hurt. Dreams came to a crashing in. Career's over. Depression set in. More drinking, more smoking, more drugs, more loneliness, more isolation, more struggle. And I struggled for a lot of years. I don't want that for nobody. I don't want that. I know what struggle is like. I know what it's like. I had to live in my homeboy's attic space. I lived temporarily in my aunt's little apartment that she had in a little basement, man. I used to sleep on a reclining chair. Been homeless. Slept outside. I've had my moments. But it's okay. Because now I have stability. Now I have resources. Now I have access. Now I have access to millions of dollars that I didn't have before. So I can help other people get access to millions of dollars. And how to use it, hear me, the right way. And how to stop listening to the naysayers. Stop listening to these people out here who don't know nothing. I don't know what they're talking about. Because all they know is to teach and preach negativity and fear. And to scare people. Not into scare tactics, man. I know what pain is like. I went through some physical hard pain last year to where I ended up needing a left total hip surgery. It was at the end of August because I was dealing with this hip pain for 3 years, and my hip finally gave out on that Saturday morning, August 31st. I'll never forget it. Got up to get out of bed to go walk, and I couldn't walk. Couldn't stand up on my leg. I had to grab a crutch to hop to the bathroom. Been through a lot, man. But I overcame it. Now I'm back. Working hard. Back to working out. Back to feeling good mentally, And I was like, you know what? I got to create something. Because when I had that time, man, I'm sitting there, couldn't go to work and couldn't get out and do nothing, couldn't just trying to handle deals and stuff from home and help people and, just doing a lot of real estate investing, helping trying to finance people, housing deals and business funding. As I was sitting there, I was like, got to do something more. An idea came to me to start this podcast, man, to help veterans and how to help them because I have all this information. And I'm like, who is it that don't know about a lot of these things? Who don't have this information? I was like, veterans, man, because we always being left out. And started looking into the homeless veterans crisis and the drug addictions. Because I see, I help veterans that's on the road, give them money and stuff like that, giving them food and all those kind of things. But it's like, man, it's not enough being done to help us. So I want to do my part. And I'm going to continue to do my part out here because I want all of us to win. It's about us winning. And a lot of people don't want you to win, but I'm here to help you. So this is Jonathan Dunmeyer, U.S. veteran of the Army. Please understand, hear me. I'm here to help, and I'm here to provide as much value as possible, to provide as much information as possible, so that you can go out here and execute. As my mentor, Herman Dolce Jr. would say, execute. Execute this information. Take what I'm giving you and execute. As I said, I'm going to provide more information rather down in the description. More resources are coming, more things I have to add because I want you to have as much information as possible to go out here and build a kind of life that you want. And it's up to each individual. If you want it, you can have it. If you don't, then you don't. But don't say nobody never told you. Until next time, y'all take care. Don't forget to comment. Don't forget to like this. Don't forget to, most importantly, share. Oh, no, most importantly, subscribe. And make sure you share this video with as many people as possible because the more people who hear about this information, get this information, more people are empowered, more people impacted, and that's what we're here for. Until next time, y'all take care.